Now let's start the session. Then over to you, Said.
Thank you, Eric. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you, SAP, for giving us this opportunity to share our experiences with SAP ALM, more specifically SAP's Cloud ALM. So before we deep dive into our journey on SAP Cloud ALM, we just want to give you a snapshot of who we are and what we do. I'm pretty sure that all of you are aware of Robert Bosch, right? And of course, we have 80 billion euros of revenue in 2019, 400,000 employees worldwide, and we work on multiple domains. And as a vision, Bosch wants to be has a vision to be an IoT company. And with a major part of our profits also goes into charity through Robert Bosch Stiftung. Okay, so you look at the domains of primary major domains: mobility, industrial technology, energy and building technology, consumer durables, goods, and so on and so forth. And as we proceed, that's more specifically to Robert Bosch Engineering and Business Solutions, and this is the legal entity which I represent today. So Robert Bosch Engineering and Business Solution, or RBI, is one of the largest offshore delivery centers for Bosch. It's not just a GIC, but we also, along being a captive center, we also do consulting like any of the other consulting firms. So with SAP, we share a dual relationship of that of a customer and also as a partner, right? So we've major divisions on engineering solutions, predominantly in the product engineering, embedded solutions, and so on and so forth, and enterprise business solutions around digital core, cloud, IoT, automation. As I also mentioned to you, the ID part of the mobility, the digital, and within the digital world, we have also offer digital advisory as a service. We focus on the factories of future, smart living, smart agriculture, healthcare, and so on and so forth. So we look at, we've started in the year 1990. We've at 22,000 employees strong. We have our own delivery locations within India, Vietnam, Mexico, Poland, and China. Of course, Bosch is throughout all over the world. I'm talking about very specifically our own delivery locations throughout the globe to service our external customers. Yeah, so what I mentioned to you is one of the core practices around business solutions or enterprise business solutions. And within that, the domain we represent today is within the SAP world. As we say that we've as RBI, we have a dual relationship with SAP. One is of one of the largest customer base for one of the first and also the largest customers of SAP. And we also are partners in SAP in specific geographies around the world. So as partners, if you look at our footprint, we pretty much into everything around in terms of managing the enterprise ERP systems, to transformations around S4HANA, to SOH migrations, to OSDB migrations, and around the secure part of it, the entire stack of secure solutions within the SAP world. Of course, we have a very strong practice based on our rich experience of in the manufacturing domain from the last 130 plus years as Bosch. So when it comes to the run part of it, we also have a rich experience for having managed very a high number of SAP systems. Add to that a very complex landscapes. Today, as we speak, we manage more than 2,000 plus SAP instances. We've done hundreds and thousands of upgrades of SAP. We've provisioned thousands of SAP systems. We worked on a lot of cloud migration projects of moving or transforming customers' landscapes from on-premise to the cloud world. So across the public clouds as well as the multi-tenanted PaaS offerings or SaaS offerings as well. One of the key philosophies for us is to harmonize the overall service management processes. Of course, we bank heavily on SAP's ALM suite of products, including Solution Manager, to fully automate the SAP run operations, and then give a very rich user experience for our customers. So as we speak, one of the philosophies for us is to work on a integrated application lifecycle management for SAP. As part of that, we have a very specialized offering in the SAP ALM world. We focus on build part of it, the deploy part of it, and run, and the continuous improvement. So with this 4-quadrant, we have bundled our services. If you look at in the build part of it, we help our customers to transform the complex, the chaotic world at which where they are managing their SAP systems, and then also help them in their transition to S/4HANA through focus build, and also of course in future around the SAP Cloud ALM world. With clear focus on all the best practices and the functionalities and the features the Solution Manager offers around the build part of it. In the deploy part of it, the focus is on the automation of the test suite, the solution documentation, the landscape provisioning. Focus is also on the 24/7 run part of it, where the entire incident management, change management processes is completely based on the ITIL framework, integrated with and married to other products around automation suite, our own homegrown automation suite, plus products like SAP Llama and Efron help us take this complete offerings to our customers. Of course, on the continuous improvement part of it, be it on the run phase, be it on the build phase, or on the deployment phase, the continuous improvements would also help our customers in terms of data volume management, custom code management as well. So as we could dwell deeper and deeper into it, but for want of time, we would move across to the next slides, please. So before I jump into the case study and our journey, which is deeper into the Cloud ALM, we wanted to also tell you that as part of our transformation journey with our customers, we've seen how we have laid a roadmap for customers to adopt Solution Manager and enhance their overall experience, reduce the total cost of ownership, whether it is a build, an implementation project, or the operations or the run part of it. So we've seen how the integrated approach of Solution Manager as a single integrated product would help our customers in our journey with on-premise products like ERP or S/4HANA. But when it comes to cloud applications or cloud products, just like the way these products are built with a completely cloud-centric mindset for those cloud-centric customers. You would also need an ALM platform which is basically built with the same mindset. And here, what we have seen is the solution, the CALM or the SAP Cloud ALM as a platform would really help us in this particular journey. In the next couple of slides, we would also tell you how our current scenario was and how did we start into this adoption program. So if you would also agree with me, typically any of the, whether it is an on-premise products like S4HANA or any cloud products implementation, they are a lot more chaotic in a traditional approach. Each of the partners, each of the customers would have built their own homegrown tools for managing the requirements, for designing the business processes. You'd also have a suite of third-party tools as well. So, and then a lot of products and a lot of each of those customers and partners have built their own accelerators and best practices, and all these are in disparate systems, connect loosely coupled in some cases, and there is also a lot of dependency on people with a lot of experience to connect all that in an implementation project. Even though you're trying to take and gather all these best practices for the next implementation, but then you move from one chaotic world to another chaotic world, and then there are also a fair amount of chances that you would miss out, the key learnings of it. And you've also seen, all these typically were adding to a longer, prepare phase, and overall the implementation efforts and the costs for our customers would also really go high. And to exactly, we were looking at some kind of a solution as to how like Solution Manager was doing it for our S4HANA journey, and how the same way for the cloud products like SuccessFactors, like S4HANA on cloud. For some of these cloud-based products, you would need a completely new solution. And in the next slides, me and my colleague Rohini would take you through this particular journey as to how we were able to look at this particular products and bring up and use Solution Manager's CALM methodology in this particular journey. In the last couple of months, when SAP released SAP Cloud ALM, and then we were also happy to join the early adoption framework, and early adoption journey has been very, very satisfying for us. And we've done a couple of simulations to see how this would also help our customers and how it would help us in the complete lifecycle management of cloud products, right? So over to my colleague Rohini, who would deep dive our journey, deep dive some of these simulations, what we have done. Of course, the data what we have gathered at the moment is based on our simulations. As we go further and further in implement this into our projects, we would get a more realistic picture, and I'm sure the realistic picture would be quite positive based on the kind of experiences what we have in the current journey. Over to my colleague Rohini.
Thank you, Yusuf. Good afternoon, everyone. If we look at our journey during this early adoption care, we were super excited to be part of this early adoption journey, and it started with subscribing for early adoption care and setting up the cloud ALM instance. That's where our preparation has started for this early adoption care, and we integrated with SuccessFactors in the prepare phase. When it comes to normally, if you see any implementations, typical SAP Activate methodology, we see that when it starts in discover phase, we see various discovering of the setting up of the sandbox layer systems to discover the functionalities and also to analyze the fit to standard. But in this case, it was pretty much easy to use Cloud ALM during the discovery phase, where we simply onboarded to the Cloud ALM, and there we integrated the SuccessFactor or SuccessFactor landscape to the Cloud ALM. That's where the discovery started. Yeah. Then during the prepare phase, and of course, it's an early adoption care, the prepare and explore phase. Our team has configured the processes, designed the processes. Normally, if you see in typical without Cloud ALM, the process design and requirement gathering and fit to standard workshop predominantly happens outside the system, and we always lose the traceability, tracking of these changes, and it leads to a lot of disconnect. That's where the solution manager, the Cloud ALM, helped the team to seamlessly help us to seamlessly integrate and configure the complete hire to retire process mapping, and that's where the journey has started. And as a first step, what did we do? We onboarded the we set up the project in Cloud ALM. It's pretty simple. Set up the project, and we identify the teams to assign. Then we obviously has to assign the project landscape to the project, and that's where we complete the initial onboarding. And when you see this entire process, after completing the connectivity, then the fit to standard workshop, it was so simple that the requirement majority of the content comes from the best practice, the task, the requirements, the processes, all available as a best practice content. So it's most of the time drag and drop and utilize. Where we see our team has collected the requirements and also generated required tasks in this journey. That's where we see the preloaded task and the simplified user management has helped us to accelerate our both prepare and explore phases. Yeah, and if you see, there are about 200 plus requirements captured by us, and that's a big number when you see a time frame of 4 to 8 weeks. And the team, it's so easy for us to actually scoping the project. And during the scoping of the project, we will capture the notes and requirements, and predominantly it helps in the fit to standard workshop, where the process content viewer, it addresses all 6 major points, and that starts with the reviewing of the best practice content, and also designing, demonstrating, and discussing with the customer, and arrive the best practice, the processes that has to be implemented and best fit to the customer to implement. Yeah, so that's where we felt this Cloud ALM has seamlessly helped us in recording all these processes and tasks end to end, and seamlessly connect with the test script. Of course, currently Cloud ALM is enabled with the manual test scripting, manual test management, but we are expecting that this automated test management as part of the SAP journey is going to release in near future. So then, when it comes to relays phase, it was again a single point of system, that is cloud ALM, where we could realize the changes and confirm the scope, solution the walkthrough of the solution, and execute the test scripts, for example, manual test scripts. Yeah, at the moment, that's where this manual test script and assigning the tasks to the processes and projects would help to seamlessly track end-to-end the status of the changes, the status of the progress of the tasks, and the ownership and responsibility. Completely, it was a seamless transparency and us to realize this specific cloud ALM integration with success factors. As a journey, of course, we are in the early adoption care, and in the beginning, and certain features are yet to release when we started in the month of June and July. But now we see periodically SAP is releasing the required changes. For example, beginning we used to create one project. Now it is enabled to create multiple projects, and also define multiple. For example, S/4HANA Cloud. I have a parallel project running, then I can still run now SuccessFactors parallel project. So that's why, as a whole, if you see cloud ALM, the learnings what we had is that it was for us, it reduced 20% of our prepare phase, and also we were able to seamlessly document the task, processes, and requirements in the cloud ALM. If not this case, then in a standard case, we would be capturing these changes in multiple tools where there is high possibility that we lose the track. Yeah, and we also noticed because of the seamless integration and preloaded best practice content, the test phase, we see that there is a 15% reduction so far, what we have estimated. Yeah, just move to next slide. This is how the quick snapshot of the cloud ALM dashboard, where we can end-to-end capture the requirements and notes, and also see the status and progress of our the deliverables, and also identify the project tracking and the progressing. Then we can also closely monitor the test progressing, and we can closely track activities are completed, how many ready, and how many test activities are in progress. This is one glimpse, but it's a very seamless tool and user-friendly dashboard, where we were able to clearly visualize the change. So for us, the key takeaways, what we see is one, the cloud ALM is definitely a single source of truth, where we are able to as a whole, if we see our key takeaway from this session, from this early adoption care, was we were able to identify this as a single source of truth for the complete transparency, and it brings the transparency and single source of truth for documentation, and it improves the reusability of the content, and it accelerates the implementation and it supports, of course, not to forget about the business process operations. We talk about implementation, but there is after implementation, there is another element of operations where the end-to-end business process operations, Cloud ALM would help to help in the end-to-end business process operations. That could be from requirement to deploy or detect to correct. That we can seamlessly set up the business process monitoring, interface monitoring, and channel monitoring to understand and connect the continuity of the business. And as a whole, if you see, this journey helped us we are confident that it will reduce the TCO over a period for the implementations, and cloud implementations could be success factors, could be S/4HANA or any other cloud implementation models. Cloud ALM would certainly help to accelerate the customers, to accelerate their implementations, and also seamlessly run the business operations. Yeah. With this, I would take the questions, if any.
Yeah, thank you very much to both of you for your great presentation. So then we go over to the question and answers. And yeah, for now, I don't have any questions so far in the question and answers panel. So maybe we'll give the audience still a few seconds time yeah, to answer questions. Please use the question and answers panel. And yeah, so on the other hand, if you like, you can also drop the questions later also in the Meet the Expert sessions. But now we have still some time. So let's give the people some minutes to ask questions. So, and first of all, Rohini and Said, thank you very much for your time, and we really appreciate that you shared your experience with us. And yeah, so I think now we got the first questions in, and thanks for those. And I would ask you just to take over, unmute your line, I mean, Rohini and Said, and take the questions.
We are not able to see the questions.
Not able to see the questions. We can also do it on the other way. So just use the question and answer, so the Q&A button on the bottom of the application, or now it's maybe at the top. But I'm gonna read the question. So, did you use Excel in parallel to plan testing? Is the first question. So Said and Rohini, so did you use Excel in parallel to plan testing?
Pardon us?
Yes, maybe Rohini, you want to answer this question? The question is, yes, we are at the moment exploring the test phase of it, because as we said that we are we've just one of the late entrants into the early adoption care, but the overall during the first phase of it, we had to really explore this particular tool, get the learnings on the requirements management, look at the deep dive content which was available as part of the best practices. We were also looking at multiple process modeling and process management tools which are available. The testing phase would start in a couple of weeks. But yes, we are definitely exploring about the functionalities. We would like to see which of the ones would be the best fit for us and for our customers.
Okay, thanks, Said. And then we have another question. Yeah, did you use the Solman process flow design or any other tool?
Yeah, I'll take up this question. In Cloud ALM, the process already written, so it's pre-delivered. So we use Cloud ALM, the high-to-retire process definition here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I hope that answers the question. So yeah, thanks for the questions so far. So at the moment we have no more questions. So let's give the people a few minutes or seconds time for more questions. So that's the last chance for you. And if not, then we can also close the session a bit earlier, but yeah, let's see. Any more questions? So far not. Yeah, so again, thank you very much to both of you. So now I had personally the time still to give you those closing words before we jump over to the next session, to the Meet the Expert. This is a final call to every one of you. So not only us as the speakers, just use the time for the Meet the Expert to ask all the remaining questions you have. And yeah, then I would say see you again there in the Meet the Experts at 2:45 in around 20 minutes. And thank you, Said and Rohini, for the presentation again. See you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Bye-bye.
Moderation. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.